Hello, here we are, week 5. We are officially halfway through the course now. So tonight we are going to be going over focal length and how it affects photos and stuff like that. So I've had to bring both my cameras tonight because I've got two cameras. I've got my Fujifilm and I've got my old Nikon. I seem to have lost my kit lens for the Nikon. It was a 18-55 zoom kit lens sort of thing. So I've got a 50mm prime lens on that and a 35 prime lens on my Fujifilm. So I brought both of them just so we've got some different focal lengths, so we're going to go through that in class. Hopefully that's going to be okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. So what do we do? So homework was a bit of a disaster this week. So because I was trying to do all the like weighting, so center weighted, spot metering, that's the word, brain not working. So the metering, so center, spot, matrix, I forget. So I didn't really get a chance to do an awful lot on. It was great weather at the weekend. So Friday night here in the UK we had the Aurora Borealis come out to play, but I didn't know about that, so I missed it. I went up to High Down, which is like a big set of hills here on the south coast, to try and catch it on a Saturday night, hoping it would be out. Took my daughter along. It got to about 11 o'clock. It wasn't happening. She got bored, wanted to go home, so we went home. I stood out in the garden and nothing happened, so I missed that. So that annoyed me a little bit, because I don't know if I'll ever get to go again. So unless I go to Iceland or something like that, who knows. So anyway, so I did a couple of bits homework wise for just trying to practice the center metering, not the center, spot metering on the lights. So like focusing on the light, setting it based on that, then moving it along, and then to get the different sort of shadings and stuff like that. So I kind of understand what it means now, so which is fine, which is the whole purpose of it. But in terms of practice in doing like outdoor shooting properly, I didn't really get a chance to do so. So that's it. So yeah, off to class today to go and do some more learning. So I kind of think, so I don't know what it's like elsewhere in the world, but here you finish school at 16 and then you're out in the world. You either go on to college or you go out to work. It's changed a little bit since I left school, but basically I left school at 16. I went to college for 2 years. It was kind of a waste of 2 years for me, not because it was a waste of time doing it, because I wasted my time doing it. So I kind of think you should do things like, you should be able to defer the 2 years, so you can do your education later on in life, because doing it now would be a much better sort of way of doing it for me. I'd probably actually achieve something, you know. But that's just a little musing of mine. Anyway, right, I'm going to head into class because it's nearly time to go. So I'll catch you all later on. Right, there we go. Week 5's complete. So tonight we did, we learned about focal length basically. So we went over zoom lenses, prime lenses, the effects different focal lengths have on a picture, the compression in a picture. So if you keep the subject the same at one zoom length and then move back, zoom in and make it the same, then the compression of objects in the back will look like they're closer together, sort of thing. So we did that. What else we go? So a really cool thing, I learned about bracketing as well, which I didn't know about beforehand. So bracketing is essentially, it might be different on different cameras, but you take 3 photos, so you'll set the exposure on one picture. You take the picture, and it will also take an additional 2 photos as well, one underexposed and one overexposed, and you can set that to whatever you want. So minus 1/3, minus 2/3, or minus a whole 1 sort of thing, and then plus whatever, or, you know what I mean, just either way, minus, oh, you know what I mean. So that's pretty cool. So you can take your picture, and then it you can look at the underexposed and overexposed, and you can see if you prefer those ones and then use those ones. Also on my Fuji it's kind of cool, so on mine, so I can do on the bracketing I can set, it might be the same for other cameras as well, but so I can go through, if I find it quickly, bracketing, so I can bracket for exposure, so under and over, and then set the levels you want it. ISO bracketing, so I could set the bracketing to go under and over on ISOs. Also my film the film simulations on these as well. So on the Fujis you do film simulations, so I can have any sort of well, hang on, I've set it now. Bracketing select, film bracketing select, so I can I can have, you know, take it in a standard one set and then have the other one do a mono sort of thing, or the classic chrome thing as well, and pick what you want. I was thinking about it yesterday and thought, oh, that's really handy, but then I can probably just adjust all of those posts anyway if I really wanted to. But it's a nice thing to have, and it's a nice feature. So bracketing, that was pretty cool. What else did we do? So we went over what we went over the week before, which was the metering, so the spot metering, center metering, and the evaluative matrix metering, the whole picture. So we went over that and looked at all the photos we did and how we did it. So yeah, all in all, it was a pretty cool lesson. Then we went out in the yard and did just some messing around with the different zoom lengths. Difficult for me, well, not difficult, that's the wrong word, because obviously I've got two prime lenses I took with me last night. I took my 35mm prime on my Fuji and the 50mm prime on the Nikon. It's amazing the difference between that sort of thing. I don't think I really appreciated the difference in what the different zooms would give me. So I took photos next to each other, the cameras next to each other, exactly the same thing, and the difference in what you get is quite a bit. So that was pretty cool just to see that for the first time properly for myself doing it, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that was pretty much the lesson. Next week's going to be kind of exciting. We're going to be doing over portrait or portraiture photos, and we're going to be doing it in the studio at the college, so using some of the studio lighting, which I've never used before, never used any actual lighting, so that'll be interesting to do. I'm not quite sure who's modelling. Maybe I'll get my bikini line done for some modelling shots. Yeah, so that's it. At the weekend I'm going away for the night with a friend of mine. We've got a car show to go to, so I'm going to be taking some photos there, obviously. So I'm hoping that'll be a good one. I should get some good shots and try and put into practice some of the all the different bits we're doing. So like the rule of thirds and the exposure. I'm going to know what the metering is now, why I'm doing it in a certain way. So that's cool, because actually my homework from college for week 5 is composition techniques. So it's going to be things like technique selection, explore various composition techniques discussed in class, such as leading lines, frame within a frame, and negative space. I don't think we spoke about negative space. I'm guessing that's just using no space in the photo. Choose 3 techniques that resonate with you or spark your interest. Application and capture, select unique scene or subjects for those chosen techniques. I mean, I'm going to have a lot of cars. Personal reflection. After capturing each photo, take a moment to reflect on the composition technique, your choice of scene or subject, any challenges you face during the shooting process and how you manage them. Yeah. So that's it. So that'll be pretty cool. So looking forward to it. I think that's covered everything. I'm fairly sure it has. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have watched previous weeks and you've watched this week, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Anyway, catch you all later. Take care now.